Surprise me. Make sure it's like a Sharpie, not like...
Good morning, friends and family. We're so happy to have you all here. My name is Penny Lawrence, and I'm a longtime administrator and former faculty member at Yale.
Morning, folks. I'm Burgee Howard. I'm one of the Associate Vice Presidents for Student Life here, and we are so excited as we're seeing families start to make their way to campus, to Old Campus, and the graduates getting ready for today's ceremonies.
So here's what we're here to do. For the next 15 minutes, we're going to talk a little bit about what commencement is and what you're going to see, where your students are going to be, where they are now, what is going to happen. And then after 15 minutes, we'll go live. The video people will take us live to the processions, and Burgee and I will be able to comment on what we're seeing there and give you some information about your students and what's going on. We want to offer a special greeting to all family members who are here today. This is an event that honors your children and everything that they've accomplished over time, and it also honors you.
Yeah, no, this is a special moment, not only for the graduates, but, was saying recently to some students, we know that they didn't get here alone, that there are families, there are communities, there are church groups, there are extended family and friends who are so proud of this moment, and we're really thankful for those of you who are able to travel to New Haven and be here to celebrate with us.
We know it's a long weekend. There are a lot of things that happen over the weekend. If you were an undergraduate family, yesterday there was class day, there was baccalaureate, and many of the schools had receptions and special events. And after this ceremony, there will be another ceremony in which your students will receive their diplomas. So let's say a little bit about what this ceremony is. Burgee?
So this ceremony, the university ceremony, is really where we come together as a university community, where you see all our schools and programs. So there are 14 schools and programs at the university, and this is that university celebration where we will recognize our honorary degree recipients, and we get to celebrate our graduates. This is an opportunity for the university community to come together, whether it's the med school, the law school, public health, the undergraduate college, and it's wonderful to be here on Old Campus, kind of the heart of Yale College's campus, to celebrate together.
And this is the only time in the year in which all the schools of the university come together. And in that way, it's celebration not only of students, not only of families, but really of the university itself and of the idea of the university itself. We celebrate what education is, what education makes possible, and we do that in a way that unifies all the schools coming together at one time. And then, after this long ceremony, well, the ceremony is not long. Let's talk a little bit about, Burgee, about what's going on right now.
Sure. Well, depending on what program you're on, it's kind of the gathering of the various tribes. So groups are gathering at the School of Management or at their residential college, and then they're starting to make their way to their assembly points. For the undergraduate college, Penny was a longtime master of one of our residential colleges and knows that getting the students ready, and they're making sure there are about 1,000 selfies happening right now. As you can see there on the camera shot, they're starting to assemble. and then each college and program will have kind of a standard bearer, and they will be led to the old campus for this ceremony.
So I think it's worth saying to all you people here on the old campus, watching virtually, and now there are many, many people watching virtually around the country, around the world, and also around the university. I think it's worth saying that your family members are having the time of their lives. You're waiting, but they're having a wonderful time talking, celebrating, finding friends from other colleges and other schools, walking around, preparing for the march, and having a good time.
The friendships, for many of the undergraduates, it is not only the folks in their college, but, they're catching up with teammates and people that they are in groups and clubs with, and kind of buzzing about this moment. Yesterday, talking to some of the undergraduates during class day, it was a bit surreal, and Dean Pericles Lewis cited a quote from the Grateful Dead about the long, strange trip it's been. And for this cohort, it has been a really challenging, as many of them entered just at the beginning prior to COVID. Many have taken time off at different times, but they really persevered to get to this moment. And so they are really kind of celebrating in that shared struggle.
So let's say a little bit more about what you are going to see when everything begins. First of all, I would say what people are wearing, since what they're wearing and what they're carrying is a very good indication of who they are. So if you look at me, I am wearing a crimson robe. That is because even though I have been at Yale for many, many years, my terminal degree, my PhD, was from Harvard, and the Harvard color is crimson. You will see crimson robes today. You will see many wonderful blue robes. You will see black and orange robes, which come from Princeton degrees. You will see purple robes that are from Northwestern. You will see gray and crimson robes. They're from MIT. So all of the people who have terminal degrees will be wearing these robes. At Yale, if you have an MA degree or a PhD, you may wear a blue robe. If you are getting a bachelor's degree, you will see all the students in black robes. Do you want to say anything more about that?
You will be wearing black robes. The undergraduates will be wearing black robes. You will see many of the graduates. Many of the master's students will be wearing hoods similar to mine. The colors, mine is in education, degrees in education, so that is the light blue of the blue. And then you'll see those who will have the colors of where they earn their degree. You'll also see many students wearing stoles, for their residential colleges, for the undergraduates, or some of their other involvements on campus. Many of our cultural centers, so you'll see some colorful things. You'll see many things that are gifts from families. So you'll see, Native Hawaiian students with leis and other things that are gifts from home. Again, it's an opportunity to celebrate who they are at Yale and also who they are as people in the world. So it is a wonderful coming together.
So the robe, the color of the robe, is the school that you have come from. And the hood itself, the color of the hood, is the degree which you have earned. So if you see, you'll see that the schools are wearing different color hoods. If you see a light purple hood, that will be from architecture. If you see a blue hood, that will be from the Graduate School of Arts and Sciences. If you see a crimson hood, that will be from the School of the Divinity. The undergraduates will not wear hoods, but they will be entitled to wear white hoods from receiving the BA or MA degree after they graduate. And, I think it's worth saying, Burgie, that there is a board of academic regalia, and they determine what color the gowns are and what color the hoods are. And just so you know, Yale is breaking the law in many ways because you're not supposed to add anything to your gown or to your hood. And Yale has now done what Burgee said, which is many of the graduates will be wearing stoles. The kente stoles from the African American Cultural Center, many will be wearing the kente stoles. The residential colleges have all adopted stoles. So you see the green stole, it will be Jonathan Edwards, and it's a great way for us and for you to identify where your students are. The graduate schools you will be able to see because of the color of their hoods, and the undergraduates you will be able to identify, or we will be able to identify for you by the colors of their stoles.
Also, you'll notice, that, again, when Penny says we're breaking the rules, that many people will have pins on theirs. Traditionally, the only pin that's supposed to be acceptable is the one that Penny's wearing for Phi Beta Kappa or another academic honor society. But frequently, in my case, I have those for residential college where I'm a fellow. I work with many of our students who are first in their family, and this is one of the largest classes that Yale has ever had, Yale College, of students who are first generation to attend college. So I celebrate them with one of the pins here. And again, we want to, it is a festive, so, as long as we don't report ourselves to the board, I won't tell if you won't tell.
I was once marching at a presidential initiation in another school, and the gentleman in front of me was critiquing my apparel because he said I should not be wearing any pins. But we do, and it's a celebratory moment and a great way of people showing their loyalties and their excitement. So Yale has allowed this to happen. I think now it might be a good idea if we tell you, and by the way, Burgee and I have noticed the campus here, for those of you who are watching virtually, and even those of you who are here, has many, many chairs before the family members begin. And that is because Yale now has 14 schools where it once had 12.
Right.
And because the classes are extremely large because of COVID. So the undergraduate class has 1,700 graduates, which is the largest class that has ever graduated from Yale College. And the two new schools are the School of Engineering and the Jackson School of Global Affairs. And when you add their graduates to the undergraduates and everybody else, it is a very, very large procession of people. Now we're seeing on the screen here.
Yeah, that looks like cross campus. We're looking.
It's cross campus. It's kind of a chaos there.
Yeah, is that the Porter Gate? Yes, I think it is. Yeah, so.
It's Noah Porter Gate.
Noah Porter Gate. And you'll see, as you see those pennants lining up, we have folks from the Yale College Dean's office there in the bottom left-hand corner of the screen gathering, and I see some of my colleagues there. You see engineering, public health, other schools going up.
That's the blue and gold with the globe flag is the new School of Global, Jackson School of Public Affairs.
And our Faculty of Arts and Sciences are gathering there on the right, so you'll see many of the being led there by the Dean of the Faculty, but they're gathering there on the right-hand side. So it is, that is the Hollywood and Vine right now for our campus.
So Burgee, let's just mention all of the schools of Yale.
Sure.
I'll see if I can do it, and if I miss something, you let me know.
All right, I'm going to work my cheat sheets to catch you.
So there's the Graduate School of Arts and Sciences, which is very, very large. There are, I think, 600-something graduates in that. That's all of the departments, history, English, biology, all of the graduate schools, all of the students who are receiving PhDs. And then there's the Yale School of Medicine, which happens to be the oldest school at Yale, the first one founded. And the graduate schools, all of the schools, march in the order in which they were founded. So the undergraduates march first because Yale College was a college. Then the School of Medicine, which was founded in 1819. Then the Yale Divinity School. Of course, at one moment, Yale was really all a divinity school. People were being trained to be clerics
Right.
or to work in civil state. But the school itself was founded after the School of Medicine. The Yale Law School, the 4 schools of the arts, where Yale is the only private university, I believe, that has 4 schools of the arts.
Which is an incredible, I mean, again, to think law, medicine, these were the obvious, clergy were the kind of the obvious things that people needed, but the Yale would be leading in the arts so quickly in the mid-1800s.
So that's art, architecture, drama, and music. Then, of course, public health, nursing, the School of the Environment, which used to be called the School of Forestry. Then it was called Forestry and Environmental Studies. Now it is appropriately the School of the Environment.
Again, that's turn of the century, so 1900 is when that school was established. So thinking about when the national parks and all these things came into being, many of those graduates were those first people who were doing a lot of that work in our forest management in the United States.
And management, the School of Management, which is big, has a big graduating class. And they will all come in and be seated here in various places. We'll be able to point out to the people here where they are. Now, Burgie, let's talk a little bit about how the procession works, what the flags are. You want to talk about the flags and the shields for a moment?
Sure. So, each school has a coat of arms, and this heraldry is put together that represents elements that are unique to the profession or the discipline, as well as unique to Yale. And so a lot of work goes into, as we said, we have two new schools, and thinking about how we would reflect that. But, the basic coat of arms that you'll see in Yale College will have the basic crest of the university embedded in there. And in fact, I think I'm wearing a pin of Yale College on here someplace that reflects kind of the basics. But each school, you'll see the staff and the snake for medicine. You'll see, for the law school, I never quite understood why they have a crocodile on theirs, but
Yeah. So,
we'll leave the lawyer jokes aside.
I don't know. Yale has more heraldry than any other university, and the question is why? It has more flags, more insignia, more pins, more stoles. There was a gentleman who was a member of the Department of the History of Art whose name was Teddy Sizer. He was called Tubby Sizer. He was one of the monument men, one of the committee of men after World War II, who in Germany and in Europe were discovering where the Nazis had hidden all of the art, and they were trying to disaggregate it and find where it was it belonged. They did their very best. It worked better in some cases than others. But Tubby Sizer was one of those monument men. When he returned to Yale, he assumed the title of pursuivant. And pursuivant means the gentleman who was in charge of all of the heraldry of the university. And he was the one who developed the insignias and the shields for all of these flags that you are going to see, with all of the shields on them.
Well, I'm always amazed because, students of every school and program identify so closely with their flag. And so, as the procession continues, you'll see kind of cheers go up when they see their flag bearer walk by, and they know that their school has entered the grounds or their residential college is on site. And we see the Yace with Kate Creer.
Now there's the Yale, the Y-A-E-L mace done by the procession head. And here are the flags of the United States, the state of Connecticut, the university, and the 2 Sudler banners, which are held by people who won big prizes. And here's Tom Duffy, the leader of the Yale Band, and here comes the Yale Band.
Outstanding.
I always laugh the people who win big prizes at Yale get to carry very heavy banners. And I think it's a very Yale thing that the prize winners are the ones who get to haul these big banners
Right,
around.
you get put to work. That is your prize here.
Here comes, I think, the Faculty of Arts and Sciences.
There's
The
the
MIT,
dean,
there's
Tamar
Tamar Gendler and Margaret Clark.
Yep.
Here are all the members of the Faculty of Arts and Sciences
You can see
who are
the
allowed
various
to
fellows.
march with their colleges where they are fellows or with the Faculty of Arts and Sciences.
You're seeing
And
some of those orange and black and crimson robes.
yeah, the yellow
lots
robe
of
is
blue.
Johns Hopkins. You'll see a lot of blue robes, Yale. And you'll see the stoles.
And so each school has a mace, and you'll see, it looks like a big, large stick, and they come in various forms and very creative. The School of Art has a very kind of artistic mace. The university mace is the large. Oh, here we have Yale College coming along. I see.
Here's your college, Jeremiah Quinlan, the Dean of Admissions, and all of the deans, George Levesque, all of the deans of Yale College are now marching.
So you see some of the deans and assistant deans who oversee the cultural centers there. And here's our first residential college pairing coming along. Morse College and Trumbull College coming along.
So 2 colleges march side by side, Morse on the left, Trumbull on the right, and with their flags and the maces of the marshals.
It looks like the Morse have foam battle axes because they are the Norsemen.
And in addition to the stoles, you'll see they all have different things like flags and whatever.
Yep, the little pennants and other things.
So now these colleges are marching, and they are going to march and make a very big circle around the Yale New Haven Green, the New Haven Green. And this is Yale's way of paying tribute to the fact that it belongs in New Haven. And it is a school situated in a city. And they will form a very big circle around the green. And then what will happen, Burgee?
So as they circle around the green, and then they will come and they will enter through Phelps Gate, which is the main gate leading into Old Campus. And again, this is where, where Penny and I are sitting. We're looking across at Connecticut Hall, which was the first structure that was built here on campus. And so this symbolic, not only of the connection of the college and the university with the city.
Now here comes my college, Jonathan Edwards, and on the other side is Trumbull, I think. Look at that wonderful flag of Jonathan Edwards.
She is still very partisan.
Very partisan. I'm very partisan. There's Mark Saltzman, the former head of college, wearing an MIT gown. And all of the fellows of the college march first. I see Lorraine Siggins, and then
Branford on the right.
And then will come the students. Now, they will form a circle around the green, and then, by the way, what will happen is that the president's party, led by the president, the provost, and all the honorary degree recipients, will march through the undergraduates onto the old campus. So this will take a while for all the colleges. And meanwhile, ladies, friends, and family, meanwhile, the graduate schools are there, and the president's party is marching through them, and then they will enter the old campus from different perspectives.
Yeah, so it is wonderful. You'll see the undergraduates coming through Phelps Gate. You'll see programs kind of entering and filling this space in front of us. Right now, it's a sea of white chairs, and we've got a really lovely day. For those who are not here in New Haven, we've been back and forth with the weather, but it is a beautiful day in the upper 60s. We've got some cloud cover so that people aren't overheating and in their heavy robes. So it's a beautiful day, and spring has come into full flower here in Connecticut. So
now, who is this? Who is on the left? Is that still Trumbull?
That looks like it could be.
I don't know.
We've got Branford coming on the left.
Well, Branford is on the left.
And we've got Polly Murray on the right.
Yeah, Polly Murray. Yep.
So we see the deans there, and Tina Liu just passed on the screen on the right, the head of Polly Murray.
And Enrique. And you can see they all have these stoles now. This only started about 10 years ago. And some people think I started.
Yes, some people. I think it is well documented in Yale history.
While they're coming through, Burgie, do we want to say a word about honorary degrees? Well, let's say a word about marshals, who the marshals are. You will see some very big maces and marshals carried by people that the university is honoring. They will be retirees. One of them is Holly Kennedy, who is a professor of midwifery at the School of Nursing and was the interim dean at a certain point. There's William Nordhaus will be the faculty marshal. He is a professor, distinguished professor of economics who actually won the Nobel Prize, and he will be the faculty marshal for the faculty. And there's someone else. Oh, Dan Harrison, who is retiring from the Department of Music, will be carrying the corporation mace. So they will be carrying these maces. Again, you know, you're being honored and you end up carrying things and helping lead the procession. So now here comes Davenport on the left,
Yep,
and
Benjamin
Franklin on the right. Yep.
You see the
I
heads.
see Angelica, the head. And there's Ned Cook. He's so tall, professor of the history of
He's
art.
easier
You
to
can
spot.
see him.
Oh, there's Jay Gitlin, one of the fellows there, and he's wearing one of the stoles from the Native American Cultural Center in addition to his regalia.
So among those getting honorary degrees, we'll just talk about a few of them. There are several who have been at Yale before. Laszlo Lovász, the great mathematician and computer scientist, whose discoveries have helped create wonderful solutions in healthcare, in engineering, and computer science.
And then Judith Rodin. I was so excited to see that she is receiving an honorary degree, and I knew her as the first woman president of the Ivy League, in the Ivy League, as president of University of Pennsylvania. I was not aware of her Yale connection until recently.
Well, she was at Yale for many years and was a close colleague of President Salovey's. And after she left the University of Pennsylvania, she became the president of the Rockefeller Foundation. So she's another one. And the third one is Mazarin Banaji,
Yes.
who, again, was a close colleague of President Salovey. And I think it's worth pointing out that he is retiring. And these are two of his close colleagues who are receiving honorary degrees. I don't think he had anything to do with that. I think it happened very spontaneously by the committee. There's a committee of faculty and trustees who decide who receive the honorary degrees.
You know, Mazarin is a colleague of in the psychology department, but she and some of her research cohort are responsible for coining the phrase of implicit bias in that part of the research. And so it has really changed much. Oh, I see, it looks like we have Pearson.
And Hopper.
And Hopper.
Pearson and Hopper. Very distinctive stoles Pearson has, black with the gold on them.
And they have the flower there.
And
on their
Grace
cap.
Hopper is the college that used to be Calhoun. And they have a trident. Their mascot is a dolphin. And all of that was developed lately.
Outstanding, they're looking great.
And you see some of the people wearing two stoles, the college stole and the Kente stole.
Mm-hmm. One of the other honorary degree recipients that, again, just kind of amazing, the folks with a Yale connection, is retired Justice Stephen Breyer of the Supreme Court. He is an amazing legal scholar. He has a connection to Yale Law School through Dean Heather Gerken, and frequently comes to campus to work with and give a lecture for our law students. And so to have a Supreme Court justice among us is also another
Retired Supreme Court.
retired Supreme Court justice.
Well, you know, he is a Harvard man. And it is true that very frequently you see Yale giving a degree to a Harvard faculty member. The president of Harvard always gets a Yale degree, and the Yale president always gets a Harvard degree. So we show our closeness to one another in that way.
Looks like we have Ezra Stiles there. I see Alicia Schmidt Camacho and her partner Stephen.
Who's on the other side?
And that's what I'm trying to determine. There's a lot of yellow.
I only see Stiles.
This could be all Stiles, actually.
That's not supposed to be happening, but it seems to be.
That could be Saybrook, actually.
Oh, maybe it is Saybrook. Their color is the same.
Yeah.
Yes. So it's worth saying why we give honorary degrees. Why do we give honorary degrees? Really because these people should be exemplars for our undergraduates and for our graduate students. They're people who have gone on in life to make contributions to society. And so they're held up here as people that our students might hope someday to make contributions to the welfare of the world in the way that they have in all of the various areas. Hortense Spillers, for example, is a literary scholar, and whether it is in academe or in administration or in any of the arts, our students see exemplars of what they might one day hope to accomplish in a different way. Yes, this is here, Stiles and Saybrook.
Yep, there's still, some of these larger colors, I see another set of flags coming along. That might be, it looks like it could be Saybrook's flag. But,
yeah.
You got Timothy, Dwight, and Saybrook, yes. There's Saybrook's flag.
Right.
I think they're a little...
They're a little out of order.
Yeah.
They're a little out of order.
But there's...
No, this is Saybrook on the left and Timothy Dwight on the right, so I don't know who they're out of order.
There's Mary Lou, who's in her final year as head of Timothy Dwight, and some of the fellows from each of the college. And, you as a head of college, working with fellows, these are faculty, these are members of our alumni body who work with our students, who are supporters of the kind of life of the college. They serve as advisees for many students, but it's a great way to have connection to kind of the undergraduate experience, and for some alums, it's a really great, wonderful way to remain connected to a place that was very special to them when they were students.
So just to repeat what's going on now, the undergraduates are forming a big circle around the green. The President's Party, including the honorands, is marching through the graduate students so they see them, and then they're going to go through the undergraduates on the green, and then they're going to enter the old campus. And when they do, and they're about halfway down the aisle, we're going to disappear. And then the final thing that you're going to see is that the flags are all going to congregate at Phelps Gate. And the final moment before the commencement begins is you will see these flags marching down the aisle. The university flag, the American flag, the flags of all of the colleges and all of the schools. And as they come down this aisle, you'll hear the students who are sitting here cheering for their own flag.
Mm-hmm. And so the flags will come down front, and they'll be placed here basically right in front of where we're sitting, as well as the mace for each of the school and program will have a place there. You can see just at the bottom of the screen. And then that representation of the university has come together. The undergraduate colleges, the graduate schools and programs, and then the ceremony will be ready to begin.
I'm going to repeat for all of you the colors of the hoods that you're going to see on the graduate students so you can identify your students. Architecture will be a blue-violet. Art and drama will be brown. Divinity is scarlet. Engineering is orange. Environment is russet. Law school is purple. The liberal arts degrees, people getting MAs will be, or having MAs, will be white. Management is sapphire blue. Medicine is green. Music is pink. Nursing is apricot. Public health is salmon. Philosophy is dark blue. And science is a golden yellow.
I swear that I think the regalia people have gotten together with the Benjamin Moore folks. When it comes to the color, I'm always struggling what russet is until I actually see them.
Well, and also the difference between salmon and apricot and orange is a little difficult to see, but we'll try to help out if we see them coming through. So, you know, one thing we didn't do was to say thank you for all the people who work on this commencement.
We could not do this without so many, not only of our staff who set the chairs and organize as ushers and the like, but also the work that happens in the colleges and schools getting ready for the diploma ceremonies.
And right now, as you're sitting here and as we're sitting here, all over campus, workers are getting ready for what comes next. The dining halls and hospitality are working very hard. In the colleges, the assistant directors of operations are getting the diplomas ready and getting everything set up. The grounds people are making sure that everything is picked up and ready. We can't say enough of thank yous to the staff who make this happen. This is like, everybody, holding a gigantic wedding in your backyard. And so you're holding a wedding in your backyard and you know you have too many guests and you're trying to make it all work and make everybody feel comfortable and happy. And we thank also Yale Broadcast that makes all of this possible and everybody who has worked so hard.
The live stream is so, I mean, we recognize that there are going to be thousands of families being guests here today, but you know, it has been interesting when since this class, particularly the undergraduates, when they started, many of them started their first year on Zoom because of the pandemic, we started to realize how many families were tuning into things around the world. And so it is not uncommon that we're going to have folks tuning in from Sydney, Australia, or Pakistan, or France, or London, celebrating this moment. And so we're so thankful to all the tech folks who are able to help us make this possible, because Yale is a global institution in many ways. And so whether people are listening to us here on Old Campus, around the college and the university, but around the world, it is really wonderful that we're kind of connecting in this moment. So hello to our international folks who are up extra early to take in this moment.
And thank you again to the families who have come to see their students have this great moment, but who endure a certain amount of challenge in order to make it happen. Okay, now we are seeing, what are we seeing? Is it still no?
Yeah, we're looking across campus there. I think just kind of getting a wide shot looking at the Porter Gate towards the Schwartzman Center. And I see, you know, it looks like there's still some faculty who are gathering there.
Well, this is what we want to say, that the students are having a great time. You're all sitting here waiting, but they're having the time of their lives, talking to each other, taking photographs, moving around. Yeah.
But this idea of the diploma ceremonies, you know, that it was one of those things that when I got to Yale, it was a very kind of a unique and very intimate aspect, and for the undergraduates, this is true for the graduate and professional schools as well. But this opportunity to gather as a university, as you say, this is the one time that we gather as a university. But then, you know, going back to the School of Management or going back to Davenport College, and not only getting your diploma, but I know that many of the heads of college are often, it's not just a recitation of names, but it is, description of some of the academic honors that some of these students have earned. Some of the colleges have some of their top prizes are awarded to students in the college. And the intimacy of being with, 300 students and receiving your degree among, your community of friends as well as a community of scholars.
It's worth maybe saying a little bit about Yale's history, the fact that Yale was founded in 1701. Its first commencement was actually in 1702, and at that commencement, they awarded 4 honorary degrees. So that tells you how far back this ceremony goes. The first public commencement was in 1718 in the Yale Church on the Green. And that ceremony was held there in that church for many years. At that ceremony, there was a lot of there were many religious aspects to it. Eventually, they outgrew the church on the Green and they moved to Battelle Chapel right here on the old campus. And when Battelle became too crowded, they moved to Wolsey Hall. And when Wolsey Hall got too many people, then in about 1950, after the Second World War, when the number of students graduating burgeoned, they moved to the old campus.
In that 1718 ceremony that you talked about, that's where Yale really kind of got its formal name, because it was named for Elihu Yale, who was a principal benefactor of the institution at that time.
By the way, I'd like to say a little bit about the speeches that took place this weekend. The Yale undergraduate class day yesterday had the Surgeon General of the United States, Vivek Murthy, speak. He was marvelous. The wisdom, the love, the sympathy, the good cheer, he hit the note exactly for the undergraduates.
Well, and much of his work, he spoke about this, that the idea that being a physician is more than just the mechanics of medicine. It is about caring. And so, he really was giving examples throughout his own professional career and as a student about where these moments of care, and he described in really wonderful personal ways in which we as a culture have experienced increasing loneliness and disconnection with our friends and family. And so, he was saying that it is as great advice to our students to put away their electronic devices and really connect with people who matter. And the showing up for each other is so important in life. And you could just see that his words kind of resonate. It didn't hurt that he has a couple Yale degrees, and he proposed to his wife right in the quadrangle in Morse College, which definitely endeared him to many of the students. But it was a really pitch perfect address on class day.
And President Salave's speech on baccalaureate was also wonderful. He spoke about his parents as immigrants, how they came to this country, the importance of education to them, and kind of his own development, his own background and his own development. And I think his remarks resonated very well as well.
Yes, and just, again, I'm sure he's feeling a little bit reflective as this is a final university commencement with him as president before he returns to the faculty. But, thinking about what led to this moment in his career and the people who have made it special. Some of them are the honorary degree recipients that we mentioned, but also members of our faculty and the community and his wife who have been his partner throughout this journey. I think he said he's been at Yale 44 years all in.
I think he was an undergraduate, a graduate student, and then he was dean of the college, dean of the graduate school, provost, and then president. So that is
I think that's pretty Yale through and through.
That's a long history. That is a long history with the university. Do we want to talk about we talked about where we saw the undergraduates and the colors of their stoles.
Well, I was just going to say, this has been kind of an exceptional year, just in the life of the university. I mean, both Penny and I are big Yale sports fans, and so it has been wonderful to see the accomplishments of our students, athletes on, on water, on courts, on fields. But again, these are folks, particularly for the seniors who had their competition years interrupted by COVID. And so they found ways to stay active, to stay engaged. Many of them took some time off so they can continue to compete for Yale. And so we've had just tremendous success. Our men's basketball program, going to the NCAA basketball tournament once again. Our women's lacrosse team winning the Ivy Championship. It has just been, and football, winning the Ivy Championship for the second straight year. And Coach Reno's program has just been wonderful, and seeing some of those student athletes being drafted into the NFL is, again, just saying at the high level we're competing.
And I'd like to say a word about the level of the arts, not only in the graduate schools, which are, of course, stunning. I understand that last night at the honorary degree dinner, the students from the Yale School of Music sang, and to a standing ovation.
Unbelievable.
No surprise, no surprise.
Tony Awards, look out.
Yeah, but it's also true that in the last weeks, I have seen an undergraduate performance of Chicago, the play, of West Side Story. You could be on Broadway and not see a better rendition of West Side Story than I saw. Tremendous talent, all undergraduate, 16-person orchestra. The Anita could have been on Broadway. It was tremendous. All I needed to do was get a ticket. I paid nothing. And then I heard the Shen Musical Theater program, which was tremendous. I went to the School of Music to hear the person who just won the Met auditions.
That's right.
Daniel Espinal, who's graduating today. Give his concert, his senior concert. The talent is overwhelming, and the fact of the matter of Yale as a great school of the arts just resonates and reverberates. And I'm always trying to get my friends to go and see not only the graduate school performances, which of course are professional, but also the undergraduate performances that happen in the little theaters, in the colleges, in what we call the off-Broadway theater, all over campus. Everything from stand-up to opera, the Yale undergraduate opera, the Yale Baroque Opera Project,
exactly.
The
Symphony.
Orchestras, the Yale Symphony, the Glee Club, the incredible Glee Club, which you will hear today. These things help make Yale the great university that it is.
I frequently joke that one of the great challenges for Yale as an institution is sometimes filling the audience, because there's so many people on stage. We have so many wonderful performers, and they're all vying for space and opportunity to showcase their work. And sometimes they'll just do an outdoor performance, or they'll do a spontaneous performance in outside a library or something like that. Because again, there's just brimming with talent. But that's not their primary thing. They could be a chemist who is an incredible dancer or a musician, and it's the kind of the both and that has really, I think, set apart many of our Yale students.
I think many of the families will recognize this. The professional schools, of course, are professional schools, but in the terms of undergraduates, often come to Yale not only because they want to be engineers, but also because they want to sing or play in the orchestra or do something that is important in the arts.
For students who have been so successful at so many things in their lives, one of the things I really appreciate is that many will try new things. To say, I've never done that. Let me try out for the club rugby team, or let me just play intertube, ice hockey.
Water polo.
Yeah, intramural ice hockey, and do things at the pool, just to be in spirit with their friends, to try new things. It's okay to fail. And then there are times when they get to show where their strengths are as well.
And I do think the graduate students benefit from that sense of a community at Yale. They are professionals. They are going on to have research degrees, to be academics, to be performers, to live professional lives. But as Vivek Murthy said yesterday, he had been a student at another university, and that the sense of community at Yale, the sense of community was what really lifted him up and made him, was a very important moment in his life. And I think one of the difficult things about being, for example, the president of Yale is you're expected to be an external person, to represent the university around the world, to raise a great deal of money for the university, but you're also expected to go to undergraduate performances and undergraduate athletics and speak at graduate schools and be a presence for all the graduate and professional, all of the 14 schools, and to be a presence. And that sense of community has been important at Yale since the 18th century, and it endures. It endures even today. It's part of the aspect of the university that is, defines it, defines it.
But that's what I think has made, President Salovey so exceptional in his role during his time, has been that ability that he has shown up, as Dr. Murthy said yesterday, for folks. And he's been there when there's been opening night for a performance, and he's been there, when the gymnastics team was competing and there was another set of competitions. He and Marta were there present. I think you were present also for that, winning that championship.
Yep.
Again, that means so much to our athletes, to our coaches.
Here they are at
Gathering at Phelps
Gate. That's, for you families here, that's that right in the back there. You should be able to see it. And they're gathering.
Seeing some of the members of the marching band assembling.
The marching band's going to come down this aisle, and the corporation and the president's party are going to follow it.
Yep, they're assembling. I hear drums and.
Yep.
See some of the attention of our audience is starting to turn towards the gate. Again, this has turned out to be an absolutely beautiful day. The sun is poking through, and it is exactly what Yale may have ordered. We'll have to give the chaplain an extra set of kudos. There's a wide shot of the grounds, and you can see the white chairs there in front of us that will be filled with the graduates.
They should be coming in soon. The graduate schools and the professional schools should be beginning to enter soon.
I must say that the coordination of this event is kind of massive, and as I said, we gave kudos to our organizers, but to organize all of these folks gathering here, getting our guest thing settled, and then the procession.
Once the president's party gets halfway down, Burgee and I will disappear, and I'm going to go through once more the colors of the graduate school colors that you will see.
We're hearing.
Here comes the band.
Fanfare.
I won't. Comes Tom Duffy and the band. We hope you have a wonderful commencement. We won't be seeing you again, but now you should be able to see and understand and know what's coming down the aisle.
Just take it all in and really celebrate everything that is really wonderful about this university. Thank you all so much for this. Enjoy your day. Congratulations, graduates.
I know. People are weird. That is a pretty shot.
To the students of the class of 2024, their parents, their families, and friends, welcome to the 323rd commencement of Yale University. We gather to recognize the extraordinary accomplishments of all of you who have worked so hard to complete your programs of study. We salute your effort, your diligence, your talent, and your intellect. We also join you in expressing gratitude for all who have supported you in these endeavors, your families and friends, teachers, and other members of the Yale community. As we begin our commencement exercises, allow me to extend special congratulations to our student marshals who were selected by their deans and heads of college in recognition of their individual accomplishments and contributions to the life of the university. They helped lead their school and college processions this morning. In keeping with the tradition of this occasion, I now call on the university chaplain to offer an invocation.
With deep gratitude to the Quinnipiac people, the indigenous people on whose land we gather, please join me for a moment of prayer or reflection. Loving and divine spirit, called on by many names, we come here today as a resplendent tapestry of your creation. We come in humility and celebration, having delved into the nooks and crannies of your handiwork, unearthing the elements of your truth and light in the library stacks and laboratories, studios and stadiums, clinics and classrooms of this campus. Creator and sustainer of life, we are filled with gratitude for everything that has brought us to this moment, for our ancestors who have come before us, for those giants on whose shoulders we stand, for those who have fed our soul on dark nights and kept us company as we searched for elusive truths. Although we are here in a moment of celebration, we also acknowledge the brokenness and heartache of this world. May these graduates help carve a better future for our world. Help them lead with humility, be inspired by justice, guided by mercy, motivated by compassion, and driven by love. Teach us to listen deeper, love harder, and lead with more kindness than necessary. As we embark on these next journeys, may we move from strength to strength with compassion, curiosity, and gentleness. As we say, Amen.
Please be seated.
Mr. President, I have the honor to present candidates for the bachelor's degrees in Yale College. For the degree of Bachelor of Arts, 967 in number. And for the degree of Bachelor of Science, 630 in number. They have been recommended by the faculty of Yale College and approved by the corporation. I now ask you by your official act to confer upon them these degrees.
By the authority vested in me, I confer upon you the bachelor's degrees in Yale College as designated by the dean and admit you to all their rights and responsibilities.
Mr. President, I have the honor to present candidates for degrees in the School of Architecture. For the degree Master of Architecture, 83 in number. For the degree Master of Environmental Design, 4 in number. They have been recommended by the faculty and approved by the corporation. I now ask you, by your official act, to confer upon them these degrees.
By the authority vested in me, I confer upon you the degrees in architecture and design, as designated by the Dean, and admit you to all their rights and responsibilities.
Mr. President, I have the honor to present candidates for the degrees in the School of Art. For the degree of Master of Fine Arts, 59 in number. They have been recommended by the faculty of the school and approved by the corporation. I now ask you, by your official act, to confer upon them this degree.
By the authority vested in me, I confer upon you the degree in art as designated by the Dean and admit you to all its rights and responsibilities.
Thank you.
Mr. President, I have the honor to present candidates for degrees in the David Geffen School of Drama. For the certificate in drama, 2 in number. For the degree of Master of Fine Arts, 62 in number. They have been recommended by the faculty of the school and approved by the corporation. I now ask you, by your official act, to confer upon them these degrees.
By the authority vested in me, I confer upon you the certificate and degree in drama as designated by the Dean and admit you to all their rights and responsibilities.
Mr. President, I have the honor to present candidates for degrees in the School of Music. For the Artist Diploma, 2 in number. For the degree of Masters of Music, 59 in number. For the degree of Master of Musical Arts, 42 in number. And for the degree of Doctor of Musical Arts, 1 in number. They have been recommended by the faculty of the school and approved by the corporation. I now ask you, by your official act, to confer upon them these degrees.
By the authority vested in me, I confer upon you the diploma and degrees in music as designated by the Dean and admit you to all their rights and responsibilities.
Mr. President, I have the honor to present candidates for degrees in the School of Nursing. For the degree of Master of Science in Nursing, 106 in number. For the Postmaster's Certificate in Nursing, 1 in number. And for the degree of Doctor of Nursing Practice, 17 in number. They have been recommended by the faculty of the school and approved by the corporation, and I now ask you by your official act to confer upon them these degrees.
By the authority vested in me, I confer upon you the certificate and degrees in nursing as designated by the Dean and admit you to all their rights and responsibilities.
Mr. President, I have the honor to present candidates for degrees in the School of the Environment. For the degree of Master of Environmental Management, 83 in number. For the degree of Master of Environmental Science, 32 in number. For the degree of Master of Forestry, 15 in number. And for the degree of Master of Forest Science, 5 in number. They have been recommended by the faculty of the school and approved by the corporation. I now ask you, by your official act, to confer upon them these degrees.
By the authority vested in me, I confer upon you the degrees in Environment and Forestry as designated by the Dean and admit you to all their rights and responsibilities.
Mr. President, I have the honor to present candidates for degrees in the School of Management. For the degree of Master of Business Administration, 385 in number. For the degree of Master of Advanced Management, 47 in number. And for the degree in Master of Management Studies, 136 in number. They have been recommended by the faculty of the school and approved by the corporation. I now ask you, by your official act, to confer these degrees upon them.
By the authority vested in me, I confer upon you the degrees in management as designated by the Dean and admit you to all their rights and responsibilities.
Mr. President, I have the honor to present candidates for degrees in the Divinity School. For the degree of Master of Arts in Religion, 51 in number. For the degree of Master of Divinity, 40 in number. For the degree of Master of Sacred Theology, 7 in number. They have been recommended by the faculty of the school and approved by the corporation. I now ask you, by your official act, to confer upon them these degrees.
By the authority vested in me, I confer upon you the degrees in religion, divinity, and theology as designated by the Dean and admit you to all their rights and responsibilities.
Mr. President, I have the honor to present candidates for degrees from the law school. For the degree of Juris Doctorate, 210 in number. For the degree of Masters of Law, 27 in number. For the degree of Masters of Studies in Law, 3 in number. And for the degree of Doctor for the Science of Law, 4 in number. When they have been recommended by the faculty of the school and approved by the corporation, I shall ask you, by your official act, to confer upon them these degrees.
By the authority vested in me, I shall confer upon you the degrees in the law school when designated by the Dean, and shall then admit you to all their rights and responsibilities.
Mr. President, I have the honor to present candidates for degrees in the graduate school. For the degree of Master of Science, 379 in number. For the degree of Master of Arts, 220 in number. And for the degree of Master of Philosophy, 422 in number. They have been recommended by the faculty of the school and approved by the corporation. I now ask you, by your official act, to confer upon them these degrees.
By the authority vested in me, I confer upon you the degrees in the graduate school as designated by the Dean and admit you to all their rights and responsibilities.
Mr. President, I have the honor to present candidates for degrees in the School of Public Health. For the degree of Master of Public Health, 272 in number. They have been recommended by the faculty of the school and approved by the corporation. I now ask you, by your official act, to confer upon them this degree.
By the authority vested in me, I confer upon you the degree in public health as designated by the Dean and admit you to all its rights and responsibilities.
Mr. President, I have the honor to present candidates for the degree in the School of Medicine. For the degree of Master of Medical Science, 98 in number, when they have been recommended by the faculty of the school and approved by the corporation, I shall ask you by your official act to confer upon them this degree. For the certificate in global medicine, 4 in number, for the degree of Master of Health Science, 35 in number, and for the degree of Doctor of Medicine, 103 in number. They have been recommended by the faculty of the school and approved by the corporation. I now ask you, by your official act, to confer upon them these degrees.
By the authority vested in me, I shall confer the degree in medical science and do confer upon you the certificate in global medicine and degrees in health science and medicine as designated by the Dean and admit you to all their rights and responsibilities.
Mr. President, I have the honor to present candidates for degrees in the Jackson School of Global Affairs. For the degree of Master in Public Policy, 39 in number, and for the degree of Master of Advanced Study, 4 in number. They have been recommended by the faculty of the school and approved by the corporation. I now ask you, by your official act, to confer upon them these degrees.
By the authority vested in me, I confer upon you the degrees in global affairs as designated by the Dean and admit you to all their rights and responsibilities.
Praeses clarissime. Candidatos ad gradum philosophiae doctoris, numero quadrangenti decum, tibi praesento. A facultate philosophiae artiumque et ob senatu academico illustri approbati sunt. Te, Domine, rogo ut eos ad hunc gradum admittas.
Secundum leges moremque universitatis nostrae, vos et gradum philosophiae doctoris admitto, vo bisque una cum hoc diplomate, iura illa atque dignitatis, quae ad hunc honorum spectant confero, nunc studiis felicite absolutis ego praeses universitatis vos ex animo jubeo salvere et valere.
I praise the Lord.
Please be seated. We will now proceed to the awarding of honorary degrees. The 8 individuals we honor this morning serve as examples to you, our graduates, to encourage you to aspire to excellence and to value those elements of human character that they embody: creativity, curiosity, discipline, integrity, and a passion for public service. Their presence here also honors you who graduate today, and all of us who are here to salute you. I will now, as is customary, call upon the provost to present the candidates for honorary degrees.
Mr. President, I have the honor to present the candidates for honorary degrees. For the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters, Judith Roden, Global Thought Leader.
Pioneering leader who served as the first woman president of both the University of Pennsylvania and the Rockefeller Foundation. You have helped reshape 2 great institutions to face the needs of modern times. In both, your creative and forward-looking ideas, from health psychology to resilient cities, galvanized initiatives that emphasize change amidst challenge. Yale celebrates as well your 22 years in New Haven as a Yale faculty member, educator, dean of the graduate school, and university provost. A resilient and transformational leader wherever you go, Yale salutes an innovator we still think of as one of our own, as we proudly confer on you the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters.
For the degree of Doctor of Humanities, Hortense Spillers, Literary Critic.
Inspiring Black feminist theorist and critic, your foundational work, embedded in your deep historical and literary knowledge, challenges received thought and provides us a profound understanding of how race and gender shape the modern world. In 3 books and dozens of essays, you rewrite the American grammar book, claiming the insurgent ground as you revolutionize how we consider and write about our nation's history and culture. Pioneering thinker, we celebrate the marvels of your inventiveness and your enduring contribution to letters as we profoundly confer and proudly confer on you the degree of Doctor of Humanities.
Thank you.
For the degree of Doctor of Engineering and Technology, Laszlo Lavaz, mathematician and computer scientist.
Brilliant mathematician and theoretical computer scientist, your path-breaking contributions in combinatorics, a branch of pure mathematics, have led to real-life applications in computer science, engineering and technology, statistics, and science that serves and advances humankind. Over time, you have received nearly every award a mathematician can earn, including the Abel Prize, the highest award in mathematics. We are honored that you have agreed to receive one more from the university where you taught and conducted research for over half a decade. and which itself is honored to present you with the degree of Doctor of Engineering and Technology.
For the degree of Doctor of Medical Sciences, Risa Lavizo Mori, Health Policy Leader.
Trailblazing physician, geriatrician, and first woman and first African American to be president and chief executive of the Robert Wood Johnson Foundation, you have devoted your career to empowering communities and corporations to making equitable health care a shared value. Your persuasiveness has prevailed on big corporations to heed your cry of less sugar, and to help create a healthier America. Yale salutes a visionary who is insistent that all Americans from every zip code in our nation can live longer, healthier, better lives. As with a big glass of delicious water, we toast and award you the degree of Doctor of Medical Sciences.
For the degree of Doctor of Laws, Stephen Breyer, Retired Associate Justice of the Supreme Court.
Supreme Court Justice for over a quarter century, you are known for your pragmatic philosophy, a belief that the judiciary must adapt to changing society and consider real-world consequences for human beings when deciding cases. Your fact and data-driven decisions in matters involving school integration, the rights of criminal suspects, a woman's prerogative to control her own body, and many more. And many more mark you as someone who shares Justice Holmes' belief that the important thing is not where we stand, but in what direction we are moving. Quintessential Enlightenment man, Yale celebrates a justice who reminds us that judges must hew to principle, not politics, as we honor you with the degree of Doctor of Laws.
For the degree of Doctor of Social Science, Mazarine Bunaji, Social Psychologist.
Groundbreaking scholar whose pioneering work has helped establish the role that unconscious processes play in governing human social action, you have educated us to appreciate how our judgment of others may spring not from conscious dislike or animosity, but from implicit biases we do not recognize or understand. These mind bugs occur outside of our awareness or control and give rise to prejudices based on race or gender or age or other characteristics. Intrepid investigator whose work has opened minds and hearts by illuminating what leads us to characterize others, we are pleased to admit explicit bias in your favor as we honor a beloved former Yale faculty member with the degree of Doctor of Social Science.
For the degree of Doctor of Science, Mario Capecchi, Molecular Geneticist.
Born in Verona to a mother who was taken to Dachau, you lived alone on the streets during the Holocaust from age 4, scrounging for food until through a set of miraculous circumstances, you were brought to the United States. Without any formal schooling until you were 9, you rose to share the Nobel Prize in Medicine for the development of gene targeting in mouse embryo stem cells, a discovery that has led to major advancements in human disease, drug development, and more. Inspiring scientist whose life lessons teach us all and whose story exemplifies the triumph of the human spirit, we award you the degree of Doctor of Science.
For the degree of Doctor of Fine Arts, Kahinde Wiley, visual artist.
Internationally renowned painter and sculptor, whose portrait of President Obama hangs in the Smithsonian's National Portrait Gallery. Your arresting portraits, like all pioneering art, break the category, depicting common people in traditional styles that raise the questions about privilege, power, authority, and representation. Artists recognized around the world for your vibrant and imaginative work, and an awardee of the W.E.B. Du Bois Medal for contributions to African and African American culture and advocacy for intercultural understanding and human rights. Yale honors you with a second Yale degree, Doctor of Fine Arts.
Mr. President, it is my honor to present one additional honorary degree. For the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters, Peter Salovey.
Thank you.
Mr. President, you have held more senior leadership roles at Yale than anyone in the university's 322-year history. You began your service as a PhD student when you became a president of the Graduate Student Assembly. As a faculty member, you have served as chair of the psychology department, dean of the Graduate School of Arts and Sciences, dean of Yale College, provost, and president. When you were appointed president, you sought to create a more accessible, a more innovative, and a more excellent Yale. You have done all three. Yale now has greater socioeconomic and geographic diversity across its student body, departments, and schools. The university's new buildings have united faculty and fostered collaboration across disciplines. New Haven's economy has grown stronger because of your partnership with the city's mayors. And our community has formed new academic collaborations and made discoveries that address society's greatest challenges. From the start of your presidency, you have inspired us to look beyond our schools, our departments, our disciplines. You have inspired us to create a Yale that is more unified. As you return to the faculty, Yale offers its thanks. We gratefully confer upon you your fourth Yale degree, Doctor of Humane Letters.
Thank you. That was a complete surprise, but I'm honored and proud to receive it. Yale has been my home for nearly 44 years and 22 in the administration, and 11 as president. And I couldn't feel more privileged. Thank you so much. Please rise with me for our final hymn.
One final prayer for the graduates. God, you who are beyond us, empower these graduates to transform our world, to beat swords into plowshares, to plant gardens where lions lay down with lambs, to build cities where justice is for all. You who are within us, enlarge our hearts to serve. Humble us to place others before ourselves. Calm our souls in the tumult of our world. Help us resolve to build bridges rather than walls. You who are around us, may we recognize your presence in families who have supported the graduates, in faculty and honorees who have shown paths forward, in a community that brings us together with all of our differences, in a leader who has served with dedication for 11 years. Amen.
Thank you.